K-State is in hot water today because of the lack of security when fans stormed the court last night after that big win over KU.
Our sports director Shane Ewing here with all the details. Hey, Shane.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the most exciting scenes in all of sports, an in-your-face indicator that something incredible has just happened. But Kansas State's storming of the court last night managed to point to a major failure in the midst of victory.
And here they come, folks.
It appears to be a university bonded together to share joy after an upset against its in-state rival. But Kansas State calling it an unfortunate situation.
We do apologize to Athletic Director Sharon Zinger and Coach Self, who we have enormous respect for and appreciation, and the entire team.
Fans creating an unsafe atmosphere for the opponent. Court storming, the subject of today's ESPN Outside the Lines.
There are several students that hit our players, you know, not saying like with the fist, but I mean, you storm the court, you run in, you bump everybody, stuff like that. This has got to stop.
Somebody's going to get hurt, and when it happens, we're going to all say that this should have been stopped a long time ago.
The Wildcat faithful has stormed the court against KU twice in 2 years, but video evidence of a fan hitting Jamari Traylor and Bill Self getting caught in the mob with the defensive Bruce Weber, throwing the safety debate into overdrive.
I think court storming is fine, but surely you can get security to the point where player safety is not involved like it is over here.
I tried to protect Bill best I could. Finally, I just said, heck with it. I started pushing people out of the way, so which is sad. Enjoy it, make the most of it, but also be respectful of your opponent and make sure they get off the court safely.
Kansas State police are now looking for the fan who hit Traylor. The university saying it's reviewing video with police to determine charges to file. All right, now John Curry said the biggest difference between last year's court storming and this year's was that the players last year celebrated at mid-court here. That allowed for the fluorescent and black shirts to kind of form this barrier and allow the players to shake hands between press row and the celebration. This year, that was not the case. Curry points out that the players celebrated. As soon as they came here, they celebrated right at the bench. They came toward press row, and it just all collapsed. But you do see the fluorescent shirts over here, just not getting there even close to in time. The Big 12 also saying it is investigating this matter. Susan?
Wow, good story. Thank you, Shane. Our team coverage continues now with a look at how the K-State incident may affect Wichita State games.
Especially for Saturday when ESPN Game Day comes to town and the 11th ranked Shockers take on number 10 Northern Iowa. Casey Wu is here with how Wichita State plans to protect those players.
Well, Chris and Susan, Wichita State officials tell me they're ready for Saturday and they're always prepared for games with a large turnout.
We want to make sure that we are good hosts because when we go on the road, we want to be treated that way as well.
More than 10,000 fans will fill these seats in Koch Arena on Saturday, and the university says their security guards and police will be here to make sure everyone is safe.
Our focus is always to make sure that our visiting teams and our game officials are able to do their jobs, have a good experience. We hope we beat them, but at the same time, we want them to be able to walk off the court safely, and we want every single person that attends our events to be able to walk home and go home safely.
The athletics department is reviewing plans and procedures and say they're always keeping an eye on the crowd.
We want to make sure that there's nothing going on in the crowd where people are getting into arguments or fights and disagreeing with each other, so we always have our eyes everywhere.
Although the Missouri Valley Conference does not have a policy on storming the court, students say they feel safe knowing the university has a plan.
That's really good of WSU to be prepared. It just makes me feel better as a student that they're on top of that. But also, I know that it's exciting as a student when your team wins the game, so that you want to be out there with like the players.
University officials are hoping fans will be mindful of safety both on and off the court.
We hope people use common sense. You know, we want everybody to have a great time, but they also need to remember when you take the opportunity to storm the court, you may hurt somebody, and the last thing we want is anybody to get hurt, including one of our own players.
Now, the university will have regular staffing for that game, but they say ESPN will have extra security for their set.